Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls.
Were you about to say in Great Falls?
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth.
and we're no damn experts. Clearly, after 100 and some episodes,
Yeah.
I've lost the ability to introduce the episode. So there we go. Maybe just an indication of how downhill this episode is going to go.
Oh, dear. That's
Yeah.
just-
I'm looking forward to it because in the room with us, Shannon, are people that I think are fairly cool.
Yes.
I just met Kelly, and I've known Elizabeth for a long time.
Yeah.
Both of these ladies,
Okay.
and I use the term loosely,
Very loose.
both of
Thank
these ladies are with the Lewis and Clark Foundation, but have experiences that go far and wide beyond Lewis and Clark, and true champions of our fantastic community, which is Great Falls, Montana, which is what I
Are you
introduced
sure?
the podcast with.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
That part
It's
I'm
the
not.
best
I know
damn
about.
town in Great Falls.
That's what I've heard. The rumors are true.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rumors are true.
Everything's
I love
happened.
it.
So, ladies, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's the first time you've been on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What took you so long?
I don't know, Shannon. I'm going to blame Shannon.
Blame for inviting them.
No, that you didn't get him here sooner.
Oh, I haven't been here that long.
Well, still.
Okay.
Okay, you're both
I'm the
pretty.
only-
Settle down. Jeez.
I'm the only consistent thing about this podcast, and I'm not going to take blame. There
It's
we
like,
go.
if we're blaming, then the consistent parts should get the blame. We're glad to have you, though. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
See, you would think that Rebecca would have figured it out a long time ago because we both like to walleye fish. And,
Yeah.
and,
Oh.
you know,
Have you been out this year?
we went out to Francis.
Huh?
Yeah, I got a 24-inch walleye
Wow.
through the ice. Thank you very
That
much.
is pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Are you going to Francis this weekend?
No, I'm not sure where we're going. We might go up to
I have not
Tybee.
been out fishing in a year.
Shame on you.
It's a sad state of affairs for my life.
I agree. What the heck?
I know.
Kelly, do you fish?
Does
I
it
wish
look
Kelly and I are
like
just
I
looking at
fish?
each other like,
Really?
okay.
I see ice fishing kind of like I see golf.
Okay.
What is the point of taking a little white ball, smacking it 500 yards, chasing it down, and hitting it again?
500. Wow, you're a good driver.
Oh, no, I'm not good. I drive the beer cart. That's what I do.
That's an important part.
That's what I find
I'm
as
very
a benefit.
popular. I'm very popular.
I find the benefit for both fishing and golfing to be the barley soda that can
The
be
barley
consumed.
soda, exactly.
go.
See, but I see no point in sitting in a little hut and freezing my cheeks off,
Yeah.
waiting for perhaps a fish or chasing the little white ball down.
Yeah.
So let's just
Fair
take
enough.
care of the beverages first,
Yeah.
and then maybe
you'll
we
be
can
happy.
discuss.
Then you'll see more of the point, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To each their own.
I
That's
know,
what we say
right?
here in Great Falls.
That's right.
You don't want to fish,
There's a
don't
lot of
fish.
options.
That's it.
You don't
It's a
want to
lot of
golf,
options.
don't golf.
Yeah.
Go
do something
shopping,
else.
go see the Interpretive
You know?
Center.
Ooh, yeah.
Follow the
There
trail
you
of
go.
what Lewis and Clark did.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know many people could actually do.
That was
Now.
a nice segue, by the way.
That was very good.
Wasn't that smooth?
It's
Yeah.
almost like I've done this before.
Maybe once, twice.
Keep us back
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
track.
absolutely.
We'll jump all over this trail. I'll always get us back.
There's a
There
lot
you
of
go.
trail to jump
On the
on, so
straight and narrow.
absolutely. Yeah, no, the trail is quite impressive actually, and I often get into conversations with folks that come into the center saying, "Well, I don't know who could do that anymore. Maybe Bear Grylls could do it." And I'm like,
No. Don't think so.
"No, no."
Doesn't he stay in a hotel overnight?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. And then he jumps out into the bush and goes, "Arr!"
Yeah.
and does his thing, and then he goes back to the hotel
You
for a
can
massage.
tell he doesn't smell bad. That's the first
can you
indication. Look at his hair and his clothes. He does not look
immaculate.
like a dude who's been
in the bush.
Peeing
Yeah,
behind the
right,
trees
yeah.
and- yeah.
Yeah.
accidentally peeing himself. Like
Yeah.
he does not smell poorly when you see him on TV. That is my assumption.
Well, that's a really good assumption. I mean,
I
the
could
fact
be
that you
wrong.
can pick that out.
I have been
Yeah.
wrong in the past. It's been
No.
fairly small moments in time,
Who
but
knows? We don't have smell-o-vision, so
Yeah.
nice.
And I'm
bad,
glad
though.
for that because there's
Yeah.
just some things that would not go well.
That'd be cool
No,
though if it like
would be.
you got like a scratch and
Scratch and
sniff,
sniff.
with
Yeah.
like the back of the room.
Scratch and sniff
The back of the
TV.
remote's like a
Like,
scratch
could
and
you
sniff for the
imagine?
channel.
You get a card
Yeah.
for the episode you're going to watch and
Yes.
like, oh, scratch this
At
one
minute
now.
9, you scratch this one.
Okay,
I
this
like
is
this idea.
okay.
to
We need to
patent this
stop.
idea
No, we
right
need
here.
to stop right now because
I
where this
do.
is headed is just so not right.
Okay, but think about it with like
campaign
Food
for Great
Network.
Falls,
Okay, Food
Montana.
Network.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Food
Maybe
Network.
not Bear Grylls. Well, maybe Bear Grylls because he
Food
doesn't
Network.
smell. But
I'm all up in there,
Yeah.
nice and deep. Like, let's do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, the
Scratch
other.
here if you want to smell what the Clark and Louis food smells
there you
like.
go.
Ooh, see, that would be a
Oh,
good
we
one.
should
See, I
make
think
that
there's a
our
campaign
visitor
for
guide.
Great
There
Falls.
could be.
Yeah.
You could be like a tour, a scratch and sniff tour,
Yeah.
and you just get a little booklet and you follow the booklet to all
Yeah.
the different
Yeah.
places, the bakeries, the breweries, the
I've
restaurants.
always wanted to create like a custom Great Falls scent. Like, what would it smell like? And then we
Like
would
for a
have
perfume or like a candle.
Well,
They
it's
make
the
those
same.
candles
the
that are
best
like
damn candle.
Yeah.
Oh.
and I want it to, permeate in our office, and then
Yeah.
you can buy the perfume or the lotion, and you go home and you're like, oh, I smell like Great Falls,
Yeah.
Montana.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be, but
Ooh.
that's the
Maybe
scent
we
I
need a-
want
this
to
is-
create a scent.
I'm just
We
going to
need a
stop us right there. This is
contest.
another conversation we should not be
Yeah.
having right now because again, the path. Whoop, there you
Yeah.
go.
It's gone.
It's
Okay.
gone. Yeah.
So-
okay. Back to Lewis and
I have a
Clark.
question though.
And I might even have an answer for you.
What would the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center smell be on a scratch and sniff guide of Great Falls?
Ooh, bark.
Bark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pine.
Mhm.
Sulfur.
Leather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Leather. Fresh air. Wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does fresh air smell like?
Again. I
Really?
just-
Great
I'm-
Falls.
Yes. Yes.
Go to a big city and come back to Great Falls. And
Yeah.
you'll see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yep,
exactly.
for
Or drive.
For sure.
Just drive anywhere.
It's a lack of other smells,
Yes.
right?
I,
It's a lack of
exactly.
pollution smell. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
I think there's a candle line that could be developed for the Portage Cash store in this
Ooh.
conversation.
Oh,
There's
we
an idea.
could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full of
But
great
it
And
ideas
has
could
to
be
here.
start with the
fun.
best damn candle.
Ah,
It
Well,
has to start with that first.
I will
Yeah.
start with that, and then
Okay.
we can do like Lewis's feet, Clark's,
Oh.
like his moccasins.
We could do wet dog for
Yeah,
semen.
I know. I was just
There
going
we
to say
go.
that. Yeah. Mhm.
See
Something
the
with
potential
yeah.
that exists here when you
Yep.
just let
Okay,
it
we're gonna be
happen.
like rolling in Benjis. I'm just saying. Let's
Trademarked here.
Yeah.
trademark
People,
here. Boom.
Stop it.
Best damn candle and Seaman's feet. I mean Lewis's feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seaman's wet fur.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, something like
dog.
that.
Yeah.
Wet dog.
Wet dog.
Wet dog. Okay, back
That-
to Lewis
that'd
and
sell
Clark.
well.
Hello,
For dog
focus.
lovers.
Be
People.
here now.
Come
Come
on.
Get with the program. Okay, Lewis and Clark. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Before we dig too much deeper, I'd like our guests to find out who you people really are.
Yeah.
So, not a deep
Peel the
dive,
onion here.
but a little bit behind the scenes. Let's start with Elizabeth. How long have you been with the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center Foundation? Nope, just the Lewis and Clark Foundation.
Yeah.
I'll get it right eventually. It's new to me.
Since 2012.
Oh,
Yeah.
and what are you doing there these days?
They actually gave me a position of authority, which is a little scary,
It really is.
and moved me into the executive director position. So I get to write all the grant applications now, which is so much
Get
fun.
all the fun stuff. Yeah.
And what does the foundation do? I know it's for all of you listening at home or in your car or on the treadmill or the stair stepper or whatever you're doing these days. What does the foundation do? It is housed at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, but
Right.
they are separate
Yeah.
but
What's
together.
that distinction?
Very much so. Yeah. So the Interpretive Center itself is owned by the Forest Service, so it's a national thing. It's government, and they have to do all the government bureaucracy, garbage, and there's a lot they can't do. So we get to step in and do those things for them. For example, we run the gift shop.
Okay.
They can't do that. They can't ask for donations.
You can do that.
We can do that. Oh gosh, there's a lot they can't do really.
It really is. They're very much confined by
Yeah.
government policy and
Yeah.
procedure and so on and so forth. So everything they can't, we can.
We get to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since it is a foundation, your kind of cornerstone is bringing in the bucks
Right.
to help with all things connected to the Interpretive Center, or all things connected to just Lewis and Clark and the trail.
No, that's another organization. So there are two foundations.
Get your
Okay,
pens and papers
okay,
out, ladies
yeah.
and
Oh my
gentlemen.
gosh.
Here's a little
Quiz
lesson
here,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's confusing. So there's the Trail Heritage Foundation, and
Also housed.
that
In the same
they are
place,
also
yeah.
in the
Okay.
same building, but their focus is the whole trail.
Okay.
Our focus is specifically here in Great Falls at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center. They are our baby.
So you are the masterminds behind the Portage Cash store.
Yep.
Where you can get all your fancy gifts,
Oh, yeah.
and your soon-to-be Lewis feet
Candle.
sandal.
Yeah.
And wet dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Along with other things connected to Lewis and Clark and kind of the forest in which they traveled.
Right.
And then you're also the geniuses behind the Lewis and Clark Festival.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
this year, oh my gosh.
Mm.
It's also
Hold on.
okay.
Oh, she's so excited.
Calm down.
Yeah.
know.
Because we
Calm
need
down.
to learn about
exciting.
Kelly.
No, we really don't. It's okay.
Sure
it's
we
fine.
do. I hired her.
That's all you
job.
need to
Her
know.
proud accomplishment. Yeah.
Anything that happens therefore after, it's all her fault subsequently. Yeah.
Kelly, what do you do for your what do you do
What I
for
do
your
for my
money?
mom?
Yeah.
My
What do
money?
you do for your money?
You mean between 9 and 5? Or?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the...
This isn't the after hours version of the
Darn it.
podcast. Yeah.
okay. No, I'm the Director of Sales and Special Events for the Lewis and Clark Foundation.
I used to be.
I'm basically the new Elizabeth, like no pressure, right? Hello.
And now
Oh my gosh.
the old Elizabeth
not a
is
big
now the
deal.
new Elizabeth, which is your boss.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no pressure at all. So I get to manage the Portage Cash Gift Shop, and then of course work with all the events that we do, the Lewis and Clark Festival, and of course the Trail Mixer Auction.
Perfect. So let's dig in.
Got all kinds of fun events.
The Lewis and Clark Festival
Yep.
is happening when?
June 30th, July 1st, and 2nd.
Okay.
Usually we have it Father's Day weekend,
Yeah.
but this year we're partnering with the Forest Service because it's also the 25th anniversary of the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center.
Oh.
Nice.
It was completed in 1989.
Holy moly. It's
Wow.
been
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah.
25 years.
See,
Yeah.
I thought it had been around forever as part
98.
of Great Falls. So that's exciting, though. 25 years.
25
yeah.
years.
So we're throwing a really big party. We're going to
Yeah.
have a really good time.
That is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be huge.
I remember a long, long time ago working on foundation marketing materials when I was with Bannock, and Rhonda Bannock was on the board
Yeah.
of the foundation at that time.
KC's on the board now.
Oh, full circle.
Right?
Yeah. I called her up. I said, hey, your mom was one of our first board members. You want to come on? She was like,
And we understand,
Nice.
visitors, you have no idea what we're talking about, but it doesn't matter because that's why Great Falls is such one big, small town.
Yep.
Yeah. Small but
Totally.
mighty.
Yeah.
Small but mighty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's what happens in Montana is
Yeah.
conversations like this that happen all the time.
oh,
Yeah. Sidebars.
Connections.
everywhere.
Mhm.
So have you disclosed to the public, or will it be breaking news here on our podcast of some of the things that are happening during the
Ooh.
festival this year?
Yeah.
well, I think we can probably break some of it.
I mean, if you need
Exclusively here
Yes.
on the
We
podcast.
need like a
Only for
stinger
you
that's
guys.
Exclusive.
So,
Exclusive.
you know who
Dun,
Jack
dun, dun.
Gladstone is?
Yes.
Oh, I love Jack
Yes.
Gladstone.
Well, then you're going to be a very happy girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Free concert.
Oh, free
Oh,
even.
June
wow.
June 30th.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, that evening.
That's
So
exciting.
here's a fun story. Everybody in the room knows Chuck Fulcher, I have to assume.
Mm-hmm.
And our listeners know Chuck because we did an episode with him. And during that episode, I shared with him, they used to do this art in the schools program. And the artists would come out and they'd sing songs. It was mostly musical acts during like a assembly at the school. Pollo Loco was one of those.
Oh, how
Jack
funny.
Gladstone was another one, and I was able to get his tape. That tells you how old it is. He had a cassette tape, but I was able to get his tape, and I wore it out.
I bet.
Nice.
Oh, well, you'll have to come by, get a little photo, get an autograph, that whole
Ooh,
thing. Oh, yeah, for sure. Come
meet
on
and
by.
greet.
And
Oh,
we actually have
absolutely.
his CDs in the store.
We do.
CDs.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at
We've
that.
come a long way, haven't we, kids? Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
still have his tape.
Oh, you should
Oh,
have
you
him
should find it and get it
sign
signed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I told the same thing with Chuck. I was going to bring my
Yeah,
Pollo Loco
did.
T-shirt,
Yep.
and they're going to
Yep.
sign it.
There you
I
go.
just have to find it.
For
can't
those
believe you
who
had-
don't know, we should share who we're all excited about. But who's
Yeah.
Jack Gladstone? Why should people come see him?
Well, he's the Montana troubadour, of
Yes,
course.
yes.
Yes. So he's,
give a-
infamous.
He's
famous.
Native American. And I mean, if you're a kid and you don't know who Jack is, then
You've done something wrong.
you've been under a rock. Yeah, because kids just adore him.
Yeah.
We listen to his music all the time in the store.
Mm-hmm.
He's a singer-songwriter.
Buffalo Cafe is my fave.
Yep.
Oh,
Buffalo Cafe is my favorite CD.
Yep.
Awesome sauce. So he's coming.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
very exciting.
He's coming.
And a free concert.
Yes.
That's
Free
amazing.
So come,
Yeah.
bring
So
your
that's
lawn
the
chairs.
kickoff.
That is the
That's,
kick
yeah,
off.
That's Friday.
and it's going to
Fun.
be at the Interpretive Center, or are we
Right.
doing
Mhm.
things off-site? No?
Nope, it's all
Interpretive
on-site.
Center.
There. Okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's going to
It's
kick us
such
all
a
off on
nice
Friday.
little amphitheater
It
that
really
exists
is. It's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful views.
So yeah, that's where the plan is do it outside and just let everybody bring their lawn chairs, come on in, and
Yeah.
have some fun. But of course, if it does rain, we always have backup because that's
That's
just
what
what
it
you have
is
to do
for
in
planners.
Montana.
Yeah,
have a backup.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jack Gladstone.
Yep.
Does it go up from here, or does it just go down?
Right.
Well, maybe for you,
That's okay.
it may not.
That's a
Yeah.
big
You
way
know.
to start. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're a devoted Lewis and Clark fan, Saturday we have Dr. Jay Buckley, who is one of the world's foremost experts on Lewis and Clark. And he's coming in, and he will be speaking again for free
Wow.
to the public. Everything is free.
That's
to the
pretty
public.
amazing that all
Everything.
is
All
free.
weekend.
Yeah.
So you just show up and you enjoy the entertainment, you enjoy the education.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're going to
All this,
have
like,
food vendors
world-class
there. We're going to have
free.
craft Montana artisans there as well. We're going to have Moki Highpool, who's going to be putting on a massive, gorgeous, intense TP presentation.
Ooh,
I mean,
okay.
it's absolutely outstanding. Just wow.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that's in there. Anything and everything that you could possibly think of that would have been utilized during that time period, this man has it. And it's
Wow.
all authentic. Like he uses, when he teaches and educates, it's all on what was used, how you find it, how you used it, how it was prepared, how it's presented, how it's put on. Yeah, it's just amazing.
I'm going to try and flex a little here and see how this goes.
Uh-oh.
Will it just be Plains Indian teepees, or will there be other teepee discussions of other types of teepees used by other tribes in the United States?
I believe that is very good. That's a very good question.
You know,
She wants
sometimes,
some appreciation for this.
sometimes.
Well, I
I'll
know
pull
that
questions
Moki
out.
is a lot of Plains Indian, but I know there will most likely be discussion about other tribes in the area and the ones that Lewis and Clark, of course, came in contact with
Right.
on their journey. So
Yeah.
there will be other discussions without question.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And Jess Anderson will be there.
Yeah,
doing
Jess is going to be there as
a lot
well.
of the same. So
Yeah.
we've got
Who's just tell
two
us.
experts in Plains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Plains.
Which-
tribes, so
Honestly, if not for the Plains tribes, I'm just going to go on record and say I don't think Lewis and Clark would have made it as far
they
as they
wouldn't
did.
have.
Yeah.
There's no way
Mm-mm.
they would have.
No.
Probably
And I
not the
could go
first
into
one
a-
to make
yeah.
that claim.
Whole discussion about that
Groundbreaking
too, but
claim.
yeah.
Really rocking the
just
boat
my
over there with that
thoughts.
claim.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, men don't ask for directions, so let's just leave it there.
Right,
Right?
yeah.
Am I wrong?
That's-
Am I wrong?
yeah,
I'm not
there you
wrong.
go.
Right. So there we go.
So we hosted the Berlin Airlift Veterans Association a couple years ago, and when they were out here doing their site visit, I tagged along with a 93-year-old World War II veteran as they were figuring out where they wanted to go and things they wanted to do as part of their little convention. Let me say this again, 93-year-old World War II veteran. And we're sitting there at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center while the organizer of the thing, was getting all the details. We're looking at the diorama. and he looks at me and he says, points to one of the guys, and the clothing is tattered, and you can see what appears to be most of his upper thigh and potentially his butt if you got the right angle. And this guy looks at me and he goes, that guy right there, and he's pointing at that. He's like, I bet you he was the one that everybody had problems with. They probably wanted to just kick him off the expedition. And I'm like, and I turned to him and I said, that kind of stuff didn't happen. And he goes, oh, right. Yeah, because everyone was just happy all the time together. I'm like,
Oh.
I haven't read the books, but I'm assuming it doesn't say anything like John was a real jerk.
And everybody wanted him to get
Right.
lost in the forest.
And he goes,
yeah.
yeah, no, that's not going to show up in the books, but that is what happened.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And so he created this entire story about like the one person in the diorama that was probably just a pain in the butt. And I was like,
Well,
you're a pretty good guy.
He might not be so wrong.
Well, that's
because there
just
was
it.
the guy who drank too much of the whiskey and they had to reprimand him. So,
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you
that
know.
would be me. I just tell you, I would not have made it much further than the president going, hey, I got this plan for you. And I'd be like, sounds great. You find
somebody
else.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
would be the
volunteering
one
as
who would
tribute.
sit with the tent. Hey, I'll just stay here, keep the home fires
Yeah.
burning. I'll maybe
Yeah.
kill something so when you get back,
You
there'll be
can
some
have
food.
some food.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
If you come back, which is
Yeah.
likely not going to happen.
That's why I
Right,
probably
or
wouldn't have
how
to kill
long-
diddly.
right,
So, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be
Your
happy.
odds, your
and
odds
your
were feeling
rations. Here's enough to get you who knows where, because we have no idea how
Well,
big
exactly.
this is going
good.
to be.
Actually know where you're going.
No, you
Yeah.
don't know where you're going. You don't know
How
how long it's
long.
going to take you. You don't know what food sources you're going to come
No.
across, if any.
Right.
You don't know what
Hostile
enemies or
territories. Yeah.
Exactly. You have no idea. How do you pack
And
for
you're
a trip
trying
like
to
that?
beat
You
winter
don't.
things.
Seriously.
Yeah.
How do you pack for a trip like that?
That's why you don't have much on if you're in the
I'd
diorama.
be looking at George
Right.
going, dude, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'd
would
have backed out. I'd like, I heard Steve.
Steve is
really
great.
looking
Steve's
for.
pretty unhappy, so he would.
Yeah, no, Steve's awesome.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he used to camp a lot. So Steve's all up in it. He's
There you go.
good to go. Let's do Steve.
he
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Steve knows what he's doing.
Oh.
We'll let Steve take this one. Yeah, for sure. Okay, where were we again? Sorry.
We're talking about Jess, who's
Anders,
Anderson,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
And
And then the TP
And the TP
demonstrations.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We've got Louis Plant Sr. coming from
Yes.
Ronan.
Yep.
He and his son and
one of his students. Yep.
And they were our dancers last year. They are awesome.
Oh.
Absolutely
So they're
incredible.
back.
They are
Yes.
back.
They
We're
told
so
great
excited.
stories
Yes.
last year.
Yep.
No.
Last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
I'm
Like,
trying to remember. No, I didn't go last year. I went 2 years ago.
Ah,
I was stuck here last year.
okay.
Okay. Thank
well,
you.
now that
Keep
this
going.
is an exclusive, we expect you to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope the world works in that way.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to work. Trust
That.
me. Mhm.
Yeah. You need that.
No fishing that weekend.
Yeah. No promises. It looks like.
Well, no, I wish I was fishing. I was stuck here,
Yeah.
keeping the home fires burning and the doors open
Right.
at
Yeah.
the office.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds amazing. Are you going to have the Lewis and Clark?
Honor guard.
There we go.
Yes, ma'am.
And then my other big question is the trail for the kids where they do all the games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so much fun. I planned a weekend getaway with my niece, Smalls. She came down. We did the Lewis and Clark Festival. She held a snake.
Yep.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah. We're
Brave
gonna have,
girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was shocked by the whole thing, and then she's like, "How about you?" And I'm like, "Do I demonstrate courage or?"
Do I run screaming?
Yeah.
Right.
From, yeah.
And so
What did you choose?
I demonstrated courage.
Wow.
Good for you.
It was extremely uncomfortable, but I
Uh-huh.
also did not want to hinder the progress she was having
Yeah.
towards snake holding. I don't believe this is going to be a long-term career, but I
Yeah.
also wanted her to not be afraid of things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
It
was
made
like,
you not be afraid.
And
Yeah.
then we did the obstacle course thing, which was super fun. I
Nice.
participated
Wow.
as much as they would let me. Some of the events, like we showed up and they're like, oh, you can just watch. I'm like, or I could participate. And they're like, it's for kids. I'm like,
I'm a big
And
kid.
I can participate.
don't
Yeah.
see a lot of other people around here.
Is that mentally or
Let me go,
physically?
right?
Yeah, are we going
Seriously.
like chronological age or
But it was
'cause,
super fun. She talked about it a lot afterwards.
Yeah.
Good.
Bought some gifts from the vendors. It was a really great time. Saw the dancers, listened to some stories.
Yep.
Got a really great story inside one of the teepees about the way the designs are done, how they're constructed, things to notice, all that fun stuff. So
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah, they're going to have a whole encampment set up where they're going to
Oh.
have flint napping,
Beaver
they're-
skinning.
Oh, I was going to try to not talk about. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm sorry,
gross.
Kelly. That people need to be prepared for that.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
yeah.
Really?
It's an actual beaver.
Yep.
And if you come in on the tail end of the beaver skinning and you did
Oh.
not know it was happening,
Oh.
all of a sudden you see
Oh.
some things and you're like, what has happened? And then you're like, oh, yeah.
Did-
There was a beaver skinning.
Did that happen with Smalls?
Nope, it happened with me.
Oh.
Terrifying, isn't it?
It is. Like when you aren't expecting
Like
to
you're
see
thinking
that.
it's a whole CSI situation
boy,
here and you need
yeah.
to call somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right?
what's happened? Do we need to call something? They're
Like,
like, no,
where's the
First aid
EMT?
kit?
we're done
Like,
there.
yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
Oh, so we can't save it.
no.
Is that what you're
done.
telling
Yeah.
us? Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
But yeah,
People
so
should
they're going to have a lot
happens.
of really cool,
Okay.
cool opportunities to learn, and a lot of interpretation, a lot of stories, a lot of really great stuff.
Now, one of the questions we get asked often is they want to retrace the steps of Lewis and Clark in this area. They want to go
They want to know where they crossed.
were.
Yeah.
They want to know where they were and where everything happened. I'm like,
go walk or drive that path. Yeah.
so when they're at the Interpretive Center, are they on the holy sacred ground that was graced by the core of discovery?
Well,
And it's okay to say yes and have it be a little bit of a lie.
you know, it technically
maybe?
it sort
Well,
of
that
is.
took the secret away,
See?
didn't it? Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've got a map that shows where they went here in town, and a lot of it's on private property. But we know that Lewis came up the falls on the other side of the river. But who's to say if they weren't right where we are? Because they took a whole month to portage all those canoes around the falls, and you know, they were wandering around everywhere. I mean, they were out on White Bear Island getting chased by grizzly bears.
Yeah.
They were,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
How do you not spend really 32-ish days in this area and not leave a trace on every portion
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the river out?
Right. Well,
It's my opinion.
leave no trace.
Yeah. It's the motto now. Yeah.
Yeah, it is right now. That's exactly
We weren't
the way
as
it
concerned
is.
about that.
They
Yeah.
didn't leave much behind.
No.
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 No. No.
Some pee.
Well, it couldn't afford to. I mean, you needed all the stuff with you.
Yeah,
We're just
and-
discarding wrappers everywhere.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They have found some things, you know, that they think might have been their same period, but
Yeah.
they can't, you know, attribute
Confirm
them
for
directly
sure.
to Lewis and Clark. But,
Yeah.
They had to have been traveling pretty light.
oh yeah,
So it's
Yeah.
not like
Well, and it's really interesting the number of stories that you do hear, like, you know, what's fact, what's fiction. But I mean, there are so many different angles and sides and such to the Lewis and Clark expedition that, yeah, I hear one thing from one person and one thing from, and I just stand there and go, cool.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like,
well,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff out
There's
there.
so much.
I mean,
yeah.
we do have the journals,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
you know, and that gives a whole lot of information. We've got all of Clark's maps that show almost exactly.
Which isn't it? Those are pretty darn precise, aren't
Yes.
they? Especially for the entire mission. Like that's. I've watched some documentaries and things, and that's the most amazing part to me is that how precise they really were able to be in their mapping.
Oh yeah,
Like I just don't. That blows me away.
Well,
clearly the president knew who he was tapping for
That's,
this.
that's true. They didn't take Steve, so that's worked
Yeah,
out.
Steve,
Yeah.
Steve didn't go, so they took these guys instead.
well,
But I
you
mean-
know, you think about it, they had never been out here.
No.
On the way back, they decided to split up and then meet up, and
Yeah.
they split up and they met up where they said they said they were going to
just
meet
that
up.
in of
so-
itself is incredible. You watch any like horror movie and you're like, nope, don't split up. That's a bad idea.
right. That's
Like,
a bad idea.
yeah.
Don't
Turn
go
on
up
the
the
lights
stairs.
Yeah.
and don't go up the stairs
Right.
and don't
Don't
split
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
it
worked
happens
out.
every
Yeah.
single time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
How come we're not as good as Lewis and Clark were?
Because
You
we're
know-
I know we
soft
have
and
to.
spoiled.
We are, and we rely on our navigations in our cars and our GPSs
Yeah.
on our phones.
Yeah.
I mean, I get lost in my walk-in closet, so
Right.
like
Like,
I'm just saying.
Turn right at the next
Yeah.
intersection.
Exactly. Bing. Yeah.
Speaking of finding things,
Well, that was a lovely segue, wasn't it? I love that.
We're not
And can
finding
you even
things.
imagine where we're headed with this?
No.
It has to do with things.
Things.
Finding things.
Things. Yes.
Sulphur Springs,
Yes.
like that's so my husband and I went and did, which this is in the scheme of the expedition, this is very, very close to the interpretive center. Here, it's a few miles. It's down
The road.
Yeah. But how, like the fact that so this is the Sulphur Springs Trail, where in the journals they talk about
The healing
finding
waters.
that. Yeah. And Skagway being really sick and having to find this. We couldn't even, when you're on the intentional trail for it, this hike, you don't even like see or smell it till you're literally on top of it.
How did
Well,
they
like,
know?
How did they find that?
When you consider where they pulled everything out, it was right down there where Belt Creek comes in
Uh-huh.
to the
Yeah.
Across the river.
Yeah.
which is right across
Yeah.
from Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
So they were probably hanging around out there and probably
Yeah.
smelled it.
Yeah, at that
So,
point, could
yeah.
smell it, or the wind was going right. That was amazing to me when we hiked that. I was like, how? I couldn't even smell or see it till I was like literally on top of it. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing they found that.
So have there been moments in either of your lives where you're like, I don't know what this disgusting smell is, but I think we should drink it or eat it because it'll make us feel better.
No.
Maybe this will save her. Yeah.
No.
Like, how do you come
like-
up with the plan? Like,
Also, it's real. Like it's real hot. Like at the time, like you see, and it doesn't look appetizing at all. You got like the white kind of film thing. Yeah.
that and cottage cheese. Those are the two things. Like who says, let's curdle some milk and then package
See
it
how
and
that
people
But then
will
look
eat
how
it.
surprisingly yummy it is.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking I'm just going to start eating and drinking disgusting things to see what happens.
It
I'm going
works
to find
for dogs. I mean, yeah.
I don't see a
Dogs
problem.
lick their butts.
I
I
know,
really don't
that's
think
what
we
I'm
should
saying.
use that as a guide.
Well,
you know
but
what
they're
I'm
doing,
saying?
but they're doing fine. That's the point.
I can't bend that far, or else who knows?
And why do they do it? Because they can,
Right.
and we cannot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things.
But no, I don't know why they would look at something like that and go, yes, let's try some of that.
Right.
That might heal her.
Well, and the other thing is, it's not like they tried it themselves. They're like,
Oh, no, they got Steve.
Scoop it. Yeah.
They got Steve to do it. That's what
you wanna
Steve was
give this
for.
a try?
It's kind of like
Give it to Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey will eat-
Yeah,
Mikey
give-
hates everything.
Mikey eats everything.
Yeah.
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 Give it to Mikey. Yeah, no, they gave it to Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Think about it. Do you hear Steve written in the journals?
No.
No.
So that's what happened to Steve.
Yeah.
So
No,
there
they
was
just had to
actually
keep
Steve.
him out.
The secret other
They're like,
person on the
right.
journey. Yeah.
They saved Seaman, but Steve, too bad
Yeah.
you drank the
Yeah.
water. Boop,
He's
you're done.
likely not going to make it, so we're
No.
not going to record anything, and he's going to be our guinea pig.
Yeah. So we're just going to try
disappear.
everything on Steve.
You see why I keep her around?
Yeah.
She's like my comic
It's good
relief.
sense.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens here. People are like, we would like all this stuff. And then they want me to be an expert on Lewis and Clark. And this is the thing that kills me. And folks, when you come visit me at 15 Overlook Drive, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm very, very wide in my knowledge, but deep in nothing. So they're like, do you have any information on Lewis and Clark? I'm like, yep, here's the brochure and this
And
is
then
the
go
map. And they're
see
like,
these people.
no, did they do this? And were they here? And I'm like, I have no clue, dude. I gave you the map. That's my job. Here's the Lewis and Clark
Here's-
Interpretive Center.
Here's where
Come
the
and talk
experts
to the
are.
experts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have the statue.
Yeah.
That should tell you everything you
That
need
makes
to
you
know.
an
Yeah.
expert.
That's
Right.
the other thing that was pretty surprising. We get people in here and that's when I read the brochure to find out what the heck they were talking about, because they had made a trip here specifically for this statue. And then they're like, well, Lewis and Clark were here, and what do you know about what Lewis and Clark did? I'm like, well, I know they poured into the falls, and I know we got an interpretive center, and I know there was some mercury in their pee, and that's
And they had a dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
and they're like, you don't know anything about this statue? And I'm like, it exists, and it's
there.
there. And then they're like, it's on this trail of these. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
people, I don't have time to
People
become.
get like personally
this
insulted sometimes when we don't have like a specific like, how could you possibly know? I'm like, I can tell you about a lot of things here. I
But
just
here's the
don't-
thing:
yeah,
Great
but
Falls is filled with so much stuff.
Yeah,
Lewis
so
and
many
Clark is just
resources here,
a
too.
very,
Yeah.
it's just one part of it.
Yeah.
The community alone has so many different things to learn from,
Yeah.
and as human beings, it's in our nature to be learners forever.
right.
So come and learn.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what you
and
guys
not
are
from
for.
me.
That's what we're for.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you stuff. You're going to want to verify it with actual other people to see if it's
our
true.
listeners understand.
Yeah.
This is my best guess scenario.
This
Yeah,
is what I
okay,
know.
people.
This is what I think I know.
Yeah. And,
I told-
and until someone
Now
tells
it's
you
a
otherwise,
challenge
by
for
gosh,
them.
that's what I know.
It's
right?
a challenge for
End
them
of
to go
discussion.
prove you wrong.
I
Yeah.
told
Exactly.
people that Pompey's Pillar was named after Pomp because that is where Sacagawea gave birth, and they did it high on a hill so that they could make sure nobody was going to attack them. And I had a bus full of people believe that until we stopped at Pompey's Pillar, and the interpretive rangers are like, that is not at all what happened. Pomp was already born by the time they got here. And I'm like, and they looked at me, and I lost all this credibility. All these people who believed everything I had said.
But you haven't learned since then. You still do that.
Here's the thing.
She still says
Ouch.
it?
It's not.
Oh my
no,
gosh.
I don't.
Not that specific
don't.
thing.
But I said it with such authority. I wasn't making it up in my mind.
Oh, you can say just about
Somebody
anything with the
had
right kind
told
of
me.
confidence and authority.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
going to be believed.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the ones we get at the center that come in and say, well, I'm a direct descendant of Meriwether Lewis. And we have to shut up
oh, yeah. Literally chew on our tongues, walk away.
because he didn't have
He
any
didn't have any
children.
children. So
Well,
you were basically
So they
kind
picked
of like
the wrong
God.
person on the expedition.
Yeah,
to say-
you were just
Yeah.
poop,
Yeah.
and there you were, and
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and then there were the ones that say that Clark and Sacagawea had an affair and that the children were his, which we know to be false as well.
Huh.
See, here's the deal. Maybe you are the people to come back and do this with us. We've had a dream of doing like the Lewis and Clark drama stories, like just airing all the things people have said.
Oh
like,
my God.
That would be so much fun.
You know,
We've got
you-
a list.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
but
I like
it's
this.
things we don't know about. Because we were visiting with the Lewis and Clark Trail Heritage Foundation people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well the murder thing," and I'm like, "No,
yeah.
we don't know anything about the murder thing."
Oh.
Again, we're really broad, but we're
Yeah.
not very deep. And then they go into this. Well, they think this person, Clark. Clark was murdered. He
Lewis.
didn't just die. Lewis
yeah.
was murdered. Didn't just die. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, oh, but that's been like, and people are writing about this, and it's been
yeah.
contested.
Yeah.
And these,
Big
I'm
time.
like,
Wow.
let's do that episode of all the drama.
Yeah, all the
Well, we actually just watched a
rumors.
video not too long ago where they went through that whole thing, like with 4 different scenarios. By the time we were done, my brain practically exploded. I'm
Yeah.
like, so he did or he didn't?
Yeah.
And was it
What's
his
true, what's
helper
not
guy, or
true?
was it the other guy who took off and went off with the dogs to get the things that ran away? And was that them? You know,
Yeah.
But the film was horrible.
okay, I
done
wasn't
by-
going to go
It
there.
was done by John Schneider.
Yeah, like of Dukes and Hazards
Yeah,
fame.
I was
John
just going to
Schneider.
say that
Yeah.
guy.
I've seen him in person at a conference.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything to do with
It
that
was-
though. Yeah.
Bizarre.
Huh.
Yeah, so
I
we
did
sat there
not-
eating popcorn, going, "What?
Did not know
just
he was
happened?"
a Lewis and Clark aficionado.
I didn't either.
Well, it sounds like
Clearly
maybe he's
he's
not.
Maybe he's not. Yeah, let's just revamp
Yeah.
what we just
Yeah.
said. Yeah, maybe he's not. But
Oh.
yeah,
yeah.
Lewis died from 2 gunshot wounds, one to his stomach and one to his head.
Oh.
I mean, if you had shot yourself in your stomach, would you then shoot yourself in your head?
yeah, that makes sense,
Probably
doesn't it?
not, Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
oops,
the
I
question.
missed.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it
They
again.
say he was despondent. They say he was depressed and that he shot himself. But now the whole thing.
and supposedly he had an affair with one of the ladies that was in the house because her husband was away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Wow.
You know? Oh yeah, the
I don't
drama.
know this part
We've got
about.
affairs
I don't know this part
No.
about that.
I
Yeah.
just think
sleeping
there's
with
an
everybody.
opportunity to do
Yeah.
a little bit of, let's call it a TV show
Yeah.
with a modern twist. Some of it is fact, some of it is fiction.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
You know,
It's our own take on the Real
like
Housewives.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
please, can we? I
Yes.
mean, really.
It would be fun.
I
It
like
would be
that.
awesome. Like the old radio
like this
shows.
show.
Oh, because they are so popular. We could do like
Yeah.
an old radio show and act out the good, the bad, and the ugly
Yeah.
of Lewis and Clark. It would be awesome.
Okay.
We could
Okay.
do a musical.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be
Wow.
fabulous.
Hey.
Idea
We're full of
fairy
ideas on
dust
this podcast.
happening
Yes.
all
Oh, we are
over
all
the
up in it.
place.
We are all up in it, nice and deep. Like,
Oh,
oh yeah, it's everywhere.
amazing.
Okay, so what were we talking about again?
The
Festival. Yeah,
Festival.
festival.
Yeah.
That was it.
Is there
we
a
might have
float-
wrapped it.
Is there a float
think-
trip?
No,
Oh,
we're gonna stay nice and close to
Okay.
home, and our days are so packed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There has
packed
been in the
with goodies.
past, right? That's been
Yes.
kind of the capstone of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've done different things. Like
Yeah.
we did
Okay.
Gates of the Mountains a couple of
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
Then the White Cliffs.
The White
and-
Cliffs,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
depends on.
But with it being the 25th anniversary, we want
want
everybody to
something
stick
there.
around home and,
Yeah.
and just enjoy all that's going to be taking place for that whole weekend.
So separate from the festival, the Gates of the Mountains are deeply connected to the
Oh,
Corps of
yeah.
Discovery expedition. So you may be listening and going, why would they do that? Well, because of the journals depict a lot of that and the flora and fauna that was found in that area.
Yeah.
All part of the, wouldn't even know it existed if it wasn't for the Corps of Discovery.
Yeah, and if
Well,
you actually
yeah.
go on one of the Gates of the Mountains, which I finally
Yeah.
did, it only took me 8,000 years.
Oh,
but
that's
when
so
I
cool.
finally did, yeah, the Lewis and Clark was so deep in it,
Yeah.
and they were
Well, they
part
named
of
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They named it the
Yeah.
Gates.
Which
So,
makes sense.
we went fishing one time at Holter, but we came all the way to Gates of the Mountains, but we came in the backside, which I have to tell you was one of the coolest experiences I had ever done. I've done the tour, get on the boat there and go through, but when you come the backside, it's like,
They're opening.
it was so
Ooh.
awesome. And
Yep.
that's an experience not everyone gets to have, just so you know.
They should.
Um,
It is so cool.
Only because we came from Holter. I mean, you're going to go on the Gates of the Mountains tour and go
Yeah.
up and then come back
Yeah.
and see it from the backside. But when you aren't expecting it, like it was the
It's
first
really
time
impressive.
we had
Yeah.
come that far down on Holter, and then I'm like, there's the gates. So to be able to experience
It
it,
really
like,
is.
Yeah.
like Lewis and Clark would have, because first I wasn't expecting to see it, and then it happened, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
It is a neat experience.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It
Okay.
really is. It's so beautiful.
So we've wrapped up that topic.
We
now.
did.
Wrapped up the festival.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
Next.
You have other things coming up. Check. Next
Check.
box.
Yeah. Next.
I mean, if you haven't been out there at all, you need to get out there.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, we've got people who travel the whole trail, and they tell us unequivocally we have the best center on the trail. And it's because we tell the whole story from beginning to end.
Yep.
We're the only place that does
And
that.
it's interactive. It's not a museum. It's an interpretive center.
Well, and you've got, let's just give a shout out to the rangers at the Interpretive Center
And the volunteers.
and the
Oh, my
volunteers
gosh.
and the
Oh, my
programming that happens there.
Yeah.
The level of knowledge that the rangers and the volunteers have at the Interpretive Center is flat impressive.
Yeah.
And it's like they have had to study the journals and retrace every experience that they ever had in order to become a ranger. I'm sure that's not true. But you're talking about Forest Service rangers that have this complete deep knowledge of
Right.
the Corps of Discovery expedition, which is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
There's
Well-
not a thing you can't talk to them about, and they're like, oh, but did you know this? I'm like, let's just guarantee you I know nothing.
I don't
yeah,
know
I
it.
really know
Let's go.
nothing. Well, even the volunteers who are out at the center, they are actually given Way to the Western Sea, which was written by David Lavender, and they are given that book to read prior to becoming involved, so they have a better understanding of what's going on. And I am constantly amazed as I sit and listen to the volunteers do their little stories and welcoming everybody. And I just sit there like at the gift shop thing with my ear out
It's
there
like
going,
amazed
what,
every
what,
time.
what? And it's just so cool
Yeah.
to listen to the different takes that they have and all the information they've garnered. It's like,
Well,
holy.
and people are constantly coming in asking questions, or they're an expert on one end of it, and they tell us things, and then we go research them, and by default, we're getting a history education just by working there.
Right.
It's just, it's phenomenal.
Well, and just that informational transfer, because you're immersed in it every day, I think is the cool part, because I'm the only one telling stories up here, and sometimes they're not right.
You can always call us.
Yeah. Well,
I'd
I'd
listen to
rather
your
than
stories,
just go
yes.
there.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Well,
I-
that's it. Just tell them that's where all the knowledge lies, is out
Yeah.
of the center. So come on out, and they will get every question they've ever
And
had
the
answered.
thing is, you're so close, and I've always wondered, why are you spending so much time asking me questions?
When you
Get in your
just right
vehicle,
go.
drive down River Drive. You're going to be there in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just go there.
Because I guarantee you're going to want
I
to
mean,
spend more than an hour.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't revel in the fact that you're trying to make me feel stupid. You can't do it. You can't.
I already feel that way. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Just go have some fun with the Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the volunteers and the
yeah.
experience that's there.
And we have our very own seaman, of course, who's there on
Yes.
Wednesdays and on special
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was there when I left today. So
Ginormous and huge.
Oh,
my
yeah.
So cute.
just a big
He's
snuggle
yes.
bunny. He is.
Aw.
He's so cute. And the kids just love him.
Yes.
Crawl all over him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't care.
What a good sport.
He's a rescue.
Is he
Yeah,
really?
he's
Yeah.
a rescue puppy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even
so
cooler.
I know.
Yeah. Love that. Okay, so
I don't know what you lured them here under the auspice of, so what else should we talk about?
I basically said, "Hey, do you
She
want to
said
come?"
something about snacks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Did you see any snacks?
yeah,
there's
York-
snacks over there.
York peppermint patties.
Oh, hey, York.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So I'll stay then. I'll
That's
stay.
what we have.
I'll
Yeah.
stay.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
fine.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anything, other things happening
things,
this summer
yes.
coming up? You want to tell people about so
Well,
they
we've
can
got
plan
our-
their trips.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've got our big fundraiser coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get kind of a little taste of who we are.
Are you going to auction off the Lewis and Clark journals?
No. We're going to
Good.
We're going to auction off Brian Morger's original paintings
Oh,
of the Lewis
cool.
and Clark expedition, though.
Wow.
They are absolutely stunning.
They were just
Yeah.
donated to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So
yeah.
I have a Brian Morger in my office.
Really?
Yeah.
There are 10 of these.
Rainbow Hotel. So it's not really anything to do with Lewis and Clark. I bet you they won't want to stay there, though.
We also, we have a Brian Morger. It was veering off script for a moment.
We do
Just
that
to
here?
prepare you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason and I
surprise.
got married at the Grand Union Hotel in Fort Benton, and when you stay there, they gift you, like they leave in your like honeymoon suite, a signed Brian Morger painted like of the historic print of
How
the Grand Union.
fabulous.
And so we have that framed, and he like draws your names and your wedding date on it, and so we have that framed of the historic Grand Union done by
gosh.
Brian Morger with our
Okay.
names on it in there.
Very
I'm
Which is
going
so
to
cool.
say this one time and one time only.
Yeah, it's only in for perpetuity because, it's
Right.
on a podcast. Yeah, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Right.
Mhm, mhm.
It'll just disappear.
Right.
Like Mission Impossible. That's got to be the only one reason I would say go stay at the Grand Union.
I was like, that's why I said I'm veering off script
The
here, but it has to do
only-
with this.
Only reason. That is a really neat thing.
Yeah, it's really special. It's really cool. I also I got to work with Brian on a story I did on Christmas Eve one year when I was working for the news station. He has like this beautiful like nutcracker painting. And funny story about him, when I went to, he has like a menagerie of pets. Do you guys know this about him?
No.
No.
Yeah. I went into his studio when it was
A
like
deep dive
downtown.
on
Yeah.
Brian.
When it was downtown to do the story, because he has some incredible like Christmas seasonal paintings and things
yeah.
as well. So I was doing just a feature on him. There was, I think, a bird, multiple dogs, and a bunny rabbit. And like when I shot my little like stand up for the story, I was like down on the ground holding a bunny and like with a dog next to a painting. So we had like this menagerie of pets in there as well. So those are my Brian Morger stories, but he's an incredible artist from this area.
So back to the auction
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the Brian Morger pieces that they're going to do. Not that wasn't amazing. Side note, maybe we bring Brian on.
Ooh,
but
I would, yeah.
is
for
he
sure.
doing work specifically for this, or are these prints that he's done
These
in
are
the past?
they're originals.
They're originals,
Okay.
yeah.
That's so cool.
And he did them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 9 that are done on maps, on Clark's map.
Oh, cool.
And then there's one of Monticello.
Wow. Those
Yeah.
would be really neat.
Oh, they are.
What
They're
an
just
incredible gift
gorgeous.
to have for the
Oh,
auction.
no kidding.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford the originals, we do have prints that we're selling.
Thank you. I
in
was
the
just
center.
going to say,
Yes, we have small ones and large
wouldn't
ones.
that make an
That's also
amazing display here at our office?
Oh, that
And
would.
then
Why
I'm like,
isn't
I'm
that
pretty
funny?
sure
You should
my
say that.
budget
Yeah.
doesn't afford the
The
originals.
original, we can't
but-
go bid on that at the auction, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
could
they-
you
we do have
imagine the
prints.
board like, oh well, I
Okay,
bought
board
this.
approval. I spent our entire budget for the year.
It was so worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, we're all for it. Yeah, whatever makes you happy, not a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you like the little plug there?
Yeah. There
Yeah.
You go.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
very
done.
good. Yeah, yeah. The Trail Mixer auction is our pretty much our only fundraiser for the year because, of course, things like the festival and such, we just provide that free of charge to
Yeah.
the community. So the Trail Mixer auction is our only fundraiser, which goes to support educational and interpretive programming for the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center.
Which you get to take advantage of when you come visit.
Exactly.
You can get in on all the
Exactly.
educational things.
So the auction used to be live and in person, and this has kind of been my soapbox this week, just as a frustration point. Will it ever come back to being a live auction? I mean, because there is a ton of benefits to having that online opportunity and getting more people involved in it, but it's also been a really fun event to be a part of in person.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, okay.
And there are a lot of reasons, I mean, I could go into that and be boring
Yeah,
and
I
drawn
get
out,
that.
but a lot of it's just financial.
Yeah.
But I mean,
makes
we
sense.
we totally get it. There's nothing like being in a room with a whole bunch of friends and
Yeah.
throwing up paddles
Oh.
and screaming out
Yeah,
your
yeah,
number and
right.
getting all excited and having one too many barley sodas and doing
That's
those
why I
kinds of
have
things.
a Helena Cathedral painting in my house. So
Ooh,
we go.
okay.
But when you have people like John Kleinfelter come in and he's picking up his winnings, it was so funny. He said, "I love this." I said, "Why do you love this?" He says, "Because, my wife used to love all the big parties and stuff, but he said, I can go up the hill to my cabin in Nyhart and I can grab a beer and sit back and I can bid." It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had people say, I love being able to sit back with a glass of wine with my bunny slippers on and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to put on pantyhose. I don't have to put
Be
on
like,
a girdle.
well, you can bring your
I-
bunny slippers to the auction if you
Well,
want.
yeah, but
And
people
they
just
can drink
love
more because
Yes.
they're not having to drive home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the more
Oh,
they
yeah.
drink, the more they bid.
The more they bid. So
Yeah.
maybe
it
that does
is
work
an
out.
interesting correlation.
Oh, yeah.
We do enjoy that.
Yeah, the more
I do
the
it.
more sodas you have, the more
Better.
free you are with your money, and the next thing you know, you
Yeah.
walk out of there with a Helena Cathedral painting.
See there?
Yeah.
That happened to us
Exactly.
once, and now we have a gun safe that's a Pepsi machine.
Yeah.
So
My
There we go.
husband's theory on auctions is you don't start to stop. And I'm like, that's really the whole point. Like
Yeah.
of an auction. You
Yeah.
set your limit and then you stop bidding at some point.
yeah.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Not
no.
in his world.
Not according to her
No.
mother.
No, not according to my
Oh.
mother. No. Okay, here, funny story.
Yep.
Okay, you said funny stories. Okay, so okay, so I have a mother, obviously.
We all do.
Hey.
Well, not all of it. Anyway, yeah. So I have a mom, and she is 78 years old.
Okay.
Okay. If COVID had a poster of the most wanted person, my mother would be that poster.
Okay.
Okay.
So she doesn't do a lot. She lives
Yeah.
in her little blue house with her 2 cats and her dog
In Canada.
in Canada.
Okay.
It sounds like the perfect
I know. I
existence
was like,
so far.
this
So
sounds
far,
good.
yeah. Okay. So, of course, my mother wanting to support her daughter in all of her endeavors, she decides she's going to look up stuff on the auction last year.
Okay.
So she decides it's not funny.
Oh,
yes, it
it
is.
might be for some of us.
Oh boy.
I think it might be for some of
So
us.
she decides, in her infinite wisdom, she's going to bid on one of our big trips.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
that she has to take.
Maui.
Yeah. Maui.
Maui.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Now let me just
I
give you a
wanted it.
little.
Yeah.
Let me just give you a little
Yeah.
backfill. She can't sit for long periods of time. She can't walk, and she has the patience of none. Doesn't have any
Yeah.
at all. She lost that like 35 years
So
ago.
a plane trip.
So a 6.5-hour plane trip, a 5.5-hour layover, and having to go everywhere with a wheelchair.
Yeah. Seems like a really good match.
It's like
She
it's-
outbid me.
yeah. It was like traveling with a toddler.
Did
I
she
swear.
gift it to you?
Wait,
No.
you just said it was like traveling with a toddler. So
Yes.
you went. This happened.
Yes.
How
I
many
went.
of you went?
My brother and I. You see, my mother thought that we should go on a family vacation every 5 years.
Okay.
Well, the last
Okay.
one we went on was 7 years ago, and we were hoping she would have forgotten and not wanted to do another one. But no, so she bid.
Because it was so much fun.
Yeah. So she bid copious amounts of money for this trip to Hawaii.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mom. Thank you.
Yep.
Love it, love it. And my brother
Then
and
you
I
had
had
to
a
go.
good time.
Yeah.
And then as we were driving home, coming home from our 6-hour flight
Yeah.
Yep.
and our 3.5-hour layover,
Yeah.
and her
Just the time
constantly
difference.
squawking the whole
Yeah.
entire time. She asked my brother and I if we could each save up $100 for the next 36 months.
$100 total in 36 months?
No,
So
every
per
month for
month.
36 months,
okay.
$100 a month for 36 months. I'm like, yeah, why? And so my brother and I are kind of like nudging each other, and she goes, well, I think we should go to Ireland.
No, Mom.
And my brother and I looked at each other. My brother mouthed, hell no. Because you can't handle a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
What makes you think you're
It's a
going to handle
longer.
a 16-hour flight?
Yeah.
And guess
Right.
what? They don't have wheelchair ramps and castles.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to have to walk to a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't even handle the pineapple tour. She sat on,
I don't know what that is. It just sounds funny.
we went on a pineapple tour in Maui. And so she sat on the little tour bus and made the man turn on the microphone inside the tour bus so she could hear everything he said.
Oh,
And then my
no.
brother and I had to run all the samples back and forth through a pineapple field so she could have the
Samples of
pineapple
pineapple.
of pineapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are
here's
you
a
going to
tangent.
Ireland?
So no, we are not going to Ireland.
Unless there's an Ireland trip on the auction.
No.
I could.
You would go for that, I know.
No,
No?
I'd go for Scotland, but I could manage putting an Ireland trip on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I
Elizabeth,
know.
let's make it happen. I want to come back to another episode and do Kelly and her family in Ireland.
My stories. Yeah. My stories with my
That's what I'm
family are
thinking.
So
slightly
just as a
interesting.
tangent for
We've been on that?
us
Yeah.
more
Sweet.
sheltered folk in the room, there's more than one kind of pineapple?
Yes.
Oh, good to know.
And all the pineapples on Maui never leave the island.
oh.
Ever.
Oh.
So I brought home 3.
You were? Did you sneak those? Isn't that one of the questions? Like
That's
when
why
you
my
come
mother
back,
walks
like-
funny.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
No, that's just if you're coming in from Canada.
Yeah,
You-
if you're coming in for
Hawaii
Canada.
is
Yeah. No,
US.
well, actually, they couldn't take their pineapples to Canada because, of course, you can't bring fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so we ended up with 3 Maui Gold pineapples
Wow.
from Maui.
Maui, wowie, go.
Maui, wowie. Yeah. So, it
Look
was.
at all the experiences that could stem for you from the Lewis
From this
and Clark auction.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We've,
never know.
I'm just going to say this, and, you can do with it what you want. South Africa.
Bow hunting.
Not
I
going to say any
spent a
more than
month.
that.
I did a study
Putting
abroad
it-
there.
Putting it out into the world.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say that's happening.
Calgary Stampede.
Calgary Stampede.
Oh.
Let's put that out.
Mm-hmm.
So the auction happens, but it'll be amazing for some folks. But here at Great Falls, Montana Tourism, we're just a little more excited about the festival.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's
we
because we
want you
get
to come
yeah,
here.
Exactly. People from all over. We welcome you. We invite you. We
Hey,
want you
you
to come
can
and
come
spend
here for
quality
the
time with
auction.
us.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
All of our hotels have amazing Wi-Fi.
Absolutely. And then here's the great part. If you come, here we go. I will make you this promise. If you come to Great Falls for the auction and stay in one of our many outstanding hotels
Okay.
and you win something at the auction,
Okay.
I will personally deliver it to your hotel.
There we go.
That's service right there.
Personally deliver it to your hotel with a smile.
Yeah.
Service.
And
And
more
maybe some
delightful
barley
stories.
sodas.
Yeah, there you
Like
go.
Yes. More stories. Yes.
Yes.
Lots more
Yeah.
stories. Yeah.
Well, I
that's a
can't
good deal
think of
there.
a better proposition than the one Kelly just made for us.
When is the auction?
It is April 19th through the
Okay.
22nd. So, I mean, come for the whole week.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you got to get on top of those bids. You got to be here to
You
let
gotta be
know
there to
just-
watch.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. You don't want to miss out. So, you
You
got to
can take
be
a
here.
break and go for a walk on the trail, come back, check your bids.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Take a break, go to the Lewis Clark Interpretive Center, come back, check
Come
your
on
bids.
back, check
Go
your
out,
bids.
check the Giant Springs.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then when you win,
Mm.
I will be at
Get
your
personal
doorstep
service.
with your goodies. Thanking you so much for your continued support. Thank you.
Well, is there
Quite a
any
deal.
better way to end this episode
No,
than that
I
proposition?
like that
Do we have
personal
to end?
proposition.
Well,
I'm really having a good time. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Well,
go
we're
home.
going to have you back to do
and
the
that is
rumors
that
about
is
Lewis
the
and Clark.
indicator right there of
Oh.
a good episode.
And then we should do family stories.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
Oh,
I
yes.
I have a ton, but here's the caveat: my mom listens,
Oh.
so there's
so does
probably
mine, yeah.
some
This
things.
is great. My mom doesn't. This will be a hoot.
No,
Yeah.
there are just some stories I won't be able to share.
We'll just
fair.
insert names,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like they do, when they're doing like cop shows and stuff.
Yeah.
This person was put in for this person.
Jane.
So it's,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jane
There we
is
go.
being,
Stephanie's gonna do a lot of things that Cindy
Steve.
probably did.
Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve can make a
Steve
return.
can make a return
Yeah.
appearance.
He can time travel. And,
Ooh, yeah.
I like it.
So I do want you girls back, girls. You went from ladies to girls. I
Hey,
hate
trust
that
me, it
term.
doesn't
I
happen.
don't
I'd rather
even-
be a girl than a
Honey,
lady.
yeah, it doesn't happen that often.
I don't
so
even
I'll
know
take
where
girl.
that snuck out of.
That's fine.
I am not a lady.
No,
Never
neither am
claimed to
I.
be.
No,
No.
no.
I always laugh when people call me a lady. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
You don't know me
Little do
very
they
well,
know,
do you?
yes.
No, you don't.
So we are going to have you back definitely to do a lot more fun stories about Lewis and Clark and the drama we don't know about
Yes.
and
Oh, yeah.
the foundation. But here, nice way to end this segment. Bid on the auction, come for the festival. Just send some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just send money
Yeah.
to the
we actually have a
foundation.
QR code. You can just donate.
Yeah.
Boom, right
Makes it
from your
easy.
phone. You don't
Yep.
even have to do anything.
LewisandClarkFoundation.org.
Yeah.
See?
There you go.
Yeah, go there.
You've enjoyed this episode so much. Write a check to them, write a check to us. See what
I'll take
happens.
it, Yeah.
You could be one of the founding members of the Candle Club.
Ooh.
Yes, the damn
Be the
candles.
membership. Yes.
Feel free to designate your donation.
Put that in the memo.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
then
under
that'll make
memo,
us actually
yeah.
have to do it then.
The best damn candle company. Ooh.
Now we just
this is
need to
really
find
coming
somebody
together.
who knows how to make the candles.
Yeah.
Well, we bought
Hey, I've got really
candles
talented
at
kids
the-
at home.
We bought candles from a vendor at the Lewis and Clark festival 2 years ago. So
There we go.
there's a lead somewhere.
There's,
Yep.
there's an
Well, go
opportunity.
back and find the dang candle and figure out where you
Yeah.
got it from.
There you go.
Smalls, if you're listening,
Yeah, there we go.
Find the candle.
Find the candle. We need the
dig
candle.
into your room, which looks like a bomb blew off, and see if you can
See
find
if you
it.
can find the candle.
Yeah.
So
Probably
thanks,
find a dead body first.
thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks
This
for
has been the
having us. This
best
is fun.
afternoon
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can we just do this all the time, please?
Should we bring wine next time?
Can we?
Please.
Do it.
And we must do the Best Damn podcast after hours. That has
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see. I can't commit to it.
We
Yet.
we
sense
need to
that
make that
hesitancy?
happen.
Yeah.
We need to make that happen because there is a nightlife in this community that's
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
pretty awesome
And
sauce.
honestly, I think there's an opportunity for leaders to just let loose.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Say what they're
No doubt
actually
about it.
feeling sometimes.
yeah, just have some fun with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And keep it really hidden. And if you really find the episodes, all
Good
the
on
better.
you. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it's kind of like seek and find.
Yeah.
Easter egg. Yeah, there we go. Ooh.
Easter eggs, yeah.
Easter eggs are good. Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. I've talked myself hoarse.
That's not good.
So until we listeners let's start
Nope.
that again.
Take two. Snap.
Boy, the beginning and ending wrap-ups are
Telling you, I'm just off
Have you
today.
been drinking? I just want to know.
I ran out of
Wishes.
my fluid.
Uh-oh.
So until we see your bright, happy, smiling, healthy face here in Great Falls, Montana, we hope you are creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you are. We'll see you soon.
We're No Damn Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.